Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this one needs to be made. I've made one like it before, or maybe 10. But basically, I feel like I'm at this position in the community where I hear a lot of noise. Okay, and we're going to talk about the arena again today, because right now, I feel like it's in the worst place it's ever been. And I've played the game coming on 3 years. I've seen it in good spots and bad spots. I've seen it on this roller coaster. And right now, I see the feedback in Discord. I see the feedback on my Twitter. I see the feedback when I'm streaming on Twitch. I get tons of comments on random videos, nothing to do with arena, just basically saying, when are you going to address what's going on in the arena? But I can't change the game. I just hope that perhaps if you guys share this video as wide as possible, let's hope that PLARIUM see it. Let's hope that aristocrats see it and realize that this is fundamentally a massive issue with their game, and it's definitely costing them players. It's absolutely costing them players that don't stick around in the game because they are so frustrated with the current kind of setup. So I'm not just going to moan about it. I'm going to go into what I feel like are the issues. I'm going to go into how I feel like they could actually be addressed, and perhaps a couple of different thoughts on that. And I'm also going to try and just give you a few pointers if you are really struggling with maybe some different approaches to how you could run an arena team towards the end. Before we get into that, let's roll today's sponsor, and then we can get into the deep and dirty chat of the arena. So I'd like to thank Incarnate for sponsoring this video. Incarnate is a hero collector on a 3D battlefield. Very immersive, really cool strategical fights. They're going to have live PvP. They're going to have big boss battles through their campaign and a really story-rich universe. Now, within Incarnate, you'll be able to actually mint your Incarnates, the ones that you've grown to love, into a tradable character, which you'll be able to sell or trade on their own marketplace, the Incarnate marketplace. If there's a particular build that you really want, you'll be able to go and look for that on the marketplace, pick it up, and actually add it into your teams almost immediately. So you can actually get involved in some of the early access stuff here. From the 7th of April, they're going to do a loot box drop. 10,000 Incarnates made up of 125 hand-picked builds from the developers. If you want to get in the mix, you'll be able to pick up one of those from their website, incarnategame.com. It's already preloaded. Bookmark it now. I will link it below. If you do get involved in that early access NFT drop, you will actually get access to their closed beta. You will get additional Primal tokens to allow some of your friends in the mix. You'll also get land access when it's developed in the game. And last but not least, another Brucey bonus, you'll be able to lend your big boy Incarnates to friends. There'll be like a lending type of mechanic within the game as well. So look, a few things to do right now. Make sure you bookmark that website. Make sure you follow them on Twitter, Incarnate Game. And they're actually doing a massive $12,000 PC giveaway right now on their Twitter. It is a beast. It is immense. And also go and follow them on Discord. That will allow you to get into some of the OG lists, some of the allow lists, which will actually give you a cheaper mint price on those early Incarnates. Either way, get involved in their socials. This game is going to be massive for 2022. Thanks again, Incarnate, for sponsoring this video. All right, then, let's get back to the arena chat. So I'm going to start just by calling out two things, actually, which I don't know how they're going to go down, but I'm going to call them out anyway. This is my view. The arena is absolutely fine, as is, if two things were not gated behind arena progression. Okay, because ultimately the arena right now is just a fundamental of where are you versus other players. Yeah, and in any competitive game, you basically you start to fall into where you should be. Yeah, either whether it's a skill-based game or whether it's, you know, pay-to-win game, whatever it is, you eventually just kind of nestle into your spot. And we're not far off that happening from Raid. There's some weird mechanics going on with the economy within Arena, and I'll get onto that in a bit. But ultimately, if you can't beat people in Gold 2, then you're going to stay in Gold 1, etc., and you'll flow back downwards if you're that level. Okay? But two things are gated behind the arena for all content in the game, which make that model make no sense. Okay, the model doesn't make any sense because of the other fundamental ways that Raid have built their game. The first one is the Great Hall. You should not gate all content worth of stats. All of these stats that you can use in all content are gated behind the arena. In the arena's current guise, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work because basically, I mean, this is my free to play. I've been playing for about 40 odd days or whatever it is, 44 days. And, you know, I'm a laughing stock. If I do a video on myself, I'm a laughing stock right now because it's just, you know, grinding away at the arena. It's bloody hard. You get way less growth for being in silver than you do in gold, way less for bronze than in silver, etc. So the lower down you are, the slower it takes. And obviously, the less wins you can get, the slower it takes. Simple as that. Yeah, it's a simple process. However, all of these great stats, tons of accuracy, resistance, damage, survivability, attack, all of these stats are gated behind the necessity for you to push high in the arena, ultimately to be a regular gold player and to get a ton of medals. And this is also gating, along with the actual arena level, it's also gated in missions. Okay, and this perhaps is even more toxic. Yeah, so you've got reach certain levels in classic arena. When I get past this set, which is all pretty achievable for me at this level, we start to get into the position where it's like reach gold 2, 3, 4, yeah, before you can get Arbiter. Now, despite what a lot of people think, Arbiter isn't the difference between you winning or losing in the arena. All right? Arbiter is a great arena champion. She will help accounts in the arena. But just because you don't have an Arbiter doesn't mean you can't win arena fights. And it's also not the reason that you're moving from gold 4 down to gold 1. There's a lot more fundamental challenges than that. But ultimately, my view is remove arena-based stuff out of this. Have a separate missions tab for arena. Yeah, just have it. That way, people that love PvP, people that love getting involved in this stuff can just do it. Yeah, have a separate one for arena. And then if people want to get involved in that, great. If they don't have to. Keep all of this PvE, because all of the PvE stuff in here is actually quite fun to progress through. Yeah, and it keeps an account moving. They can see that they're getting different rewards along the way. And the mission system, other than the arena stuff, is actually, I think, not bad. I think it's pretty decent. So remove arena from here. And I just had a thought last night. What about if the Great Hall was gated in a different way? Literally just laying there in bed, I was like, what about this for an idea? Different dungeons, unlocked medals for different things here. So you could have like, I don't know, Dragon is an HP based one. You get randomly when you run Dragon, you get medals drop for HP. For example, this is just a kind of spitball idea, but the higher you are in Dragon, the better the drops would be. And, you know, basically, maybe it's a same currency. Maybe it's just still just a medal system, but you get bronze, silver, gold, depending on the level of runs that you do. And as you progress through dungeons, you start to get those drops coming in more regularly or more frequently. And you're able to fill up your Great Hall through PvE content, which is accessible basically from day one. Similar to the way that the arena is right now. So the medals only drop from dungeons and stuff like that. And you can start to unlock your Great Hall just from progressing your account. That way, PvE-based stats, all of these stats here build your champions everywhere in the game. So you can do your PvE content to grow your PvE stats. That makes more sense to me. But if you've got other ideas for that, what could unlock the Great Hall in another way? If you've got ideas, pop them down below. I'm hoping and praying that PLARIUM do watch this, have some ideas, and are like, we're just going to do it. Because this wouldn't take long. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm asking for 10 new employees to come in, brand new developers. We're going to have to code a whole load of new stuff. No. You just switch medal drops from arena to runs. It's like them turning on any type of drop. It doesn't take long to code. Honestly, this is not hard to change. Equally, with the missions, it is not hard to go into the area where it's like, this would be an arena one, and just swap it for something else. Just literally pick something else at that level of the game and slot it in there. It wouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Yeah, it's literally a very easy coding job from what my people tell me. I'm not saying I could do it. But from what my people tell me, that's not a very tough ask. So they're the two things. Like if those two things came out of the mix, then the current arena ranking system kind of is okay. It's still pretty lousy, but it's okay. Yeah. It's not the end of the world. So the next thing I want to touch on is the economy of the arena. And I actually think adding gold 5 has caused a negative effect. And just think about it. So whenever you finish a week in the arena, you go into the arena, you finish your week, and you get kicked back to the start of the previous rank. Yeah, so you basically get demoted a level and kicked back to 0 points within that level. Yeah, so if you were gold 4, you'd go back to gold 3. If you were silver 4, you'd go back to silver 3, etc. at the start. So actually what's happening within the economy of the arena is every week a load of points are removed from players. And the only place where you don't get points deducted is actually right at the bottom of the arena. So unless you have a huge amount of new players coming in that don't lose points, there's this kind of negative economy going on in the arena. Now, what they've done in the past to try and rectify this is they've added in what we class as bots. Ultimately, the bots are a low-level player somewhere in the arena. Their account has been copied, put into a higher place in the arena, and it's basically a free win. Yeah, and everyone's like that. Bots are back. Bots are back. Quickly work on my Great Hall because we don't know how long it's going to last. And I feel like, unfortunately, the fix when it eventually comes, because it has to come because it's just too horrible right now in the arena, the fix will probably eventually be bots get put back into the arena. I don't think that really is the fix, but basically I think that's what's going to happen probably within the next couple of months because we cannot continue in the way we are. But if we look at the economy, this is something which Senti pulled together. Senti, major maths brain of the game. We've done some more work on the back of this kind of info that Senti dropped, but he's basically saying here evidence that there's a natural deflation in arena. Adding gold 5 made all of arena harder. Okay, so what this is looking at here is when platinum arena people finish, they're recording the top 10 finish positions in terms of numbers, like numbers of points that they score. And you can see that there's been the reduction of these bots, therefore there's less just kind of like free win groups. Therefore, you actually fight people every single time and you win or lose points every time. When the reset comes in, points are removed from the arena, and therefore, because you're always just trading points and then a chunk's removed, there's that kind of deflation of points available in the arena. So you can see here, just over the space of, what is this, like 3 or 4 months? You can just see the average points of a top arena player is down. It's down almost 800. A bit more, yeah, about 800 points from where it was to where it is now. You can also see that when gold 5, so this was a gradual reduction of bots, and then when gold 5 came in, there was like a stair step change, and it's still reducing over time. So this is concerning, right? It's concerning because when you then put it together with what we've looked at, this is taking people that use the optimizer. Just make it to about the right size. Make sure I'm not in the way. Okay. This is taking people who use the optimizer, and then we just record within that information what arena rank people are. Okay, so it is a bit of a quick and dirty because it might not be the same people logging in as last week and all that type of stuff. Like, that's not in our control, but it gives us a good feel for it anyway. Now, if we go back to 21st of the 3rd, last week, we're talking week on week. It's probably a too small a data set to get real facts, okay? I get it. Any proper data analyst out there be like, dude, you're giving us crap info. I'm giving you what I've got because it still feels like it fits the trend, okay? So we've got here the percentage of people in different arena ranks at any point. Now you'll notice the weird one here is there's an incredibly small amount of people right now in Platinum Arena. And I was talking to Sophia from my Discord about this. She got herself up into Plat. And basically, because there's so few people pushing Plat during the week now, it doesn't make sense to. There's only like 3 or 4 people in Plat. When one of them loses, they just get kicked back into Gold 5. So to get into plat and hold plat, it's almost impossible during the week because there's not many people in there. So you need a whole group of people pushing on to get this kind of ecosystem of plat to make sense. When she pushes into plat right now, there's nobody there. There's like 4 people there. If she loses, she's straight back in gold 5 again. It's really weird. And obviously the person that takes the loss will jump back into gold 5 if she doesn't lose. So there's always this kind of like very few number of people in plat. But anyway, let's talk about gold 5. Gold 5, 2.5% of the player base in gold 5 versus last week 3.7. Call it 24.8% of the player base currently in gold 4 versus last week nearly 27%. And what's happening is those players that were gold 5, gold 4 standard, or even really plat level standard, now in gold 5, gold 4 level standards, holding gold 4, all being forced down into gold 3. We've now got a difference between gold 3 is actually up 5% on just on last week. Yeah, and gold 2 up nearly 3% on last week. Gold 1 up 1% on last week. So it's filtering down. People are filtering down the ranks just because of this kind of economy deflation. It doesn't work quite the same in silver and bronze because the matchmaking is just different. Okay, in silver and bronze, you've got a matchmaking system where you're trying to be pitched against someone of your level. So you don't get to real pain until gold. And at gold, that system goes out the window. You're just played against people at your rank. Yeah. So on the on my main account, I'm just up against any old person around my level in gold. On the free to play, I should be matched. I say should be. I'm in silver 3. I should be matched against somebody of a similar player power to me. So this guy, 225k power. I am at 217k power. Yeah, you kind of get someone around your account level. Anywhere up to silver 4. It changes when you get into gold. Now, unfortunately, even for something like this, it's very difficult when you then have someone who has got, even 50k more power. It becomes very difficult to beat some of these teams that are just way stronger than you at all levels of arena. Okay, but yeah, for a new player experience, it is pretty gross. Now, something else which has changed, and I don't know when this change came in. I don't know when this happened. And maybe it was when Gold 5 was introduced. I hadn't noticed it. It was actually Saphira, one of my mods, when we've been talking about this, threw this one out there. If you're fighting someone at the top of your group, you see here, against Valar, I gained 2 points for winning that fight. I hadn't seen this. It used to be kind of top of the board was like anywhere between 7 and 10, roughly. And then bottom of the board was like anywhere between 10 and 12 or maybe 14 as a max. There's now way bigger differences. +2 at the top. Basically, if I lose this fight, I will lose. Oh, in fact, let's have a refresh. +3 if I win. Let me see what happens if I lose. Let's just put out a nothing team. So +3 if I win. Let's see what happens when I lose. Someone hit me. Please hit me. Please someone kill me off. I'm making a video. Okay. So I lose 17 points. I could have won 3. Let's just say RNG doesn't go in your way. I lose 17. It means I need to win the next 6 fights. I need to win the next 6 fights just to break even on this one loss in the way they've changed the point scoring. What is that? What is that? I'm fighting people around my level. Why on earth would there be such a massive gap? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, so you've got this kind of, again, negative scoring, basically, if you actually lose fights. And there's so much RNG in Arena right now. Stone Skin, toxic. Swift Parry, pretty damn toxic. Reaction sets, pretty toxic. Defense basically is overriding offense in a lot of places now. We've got +4s all over they've introduced so many things which can make Arena toxic now that you could lose one of these, what you'd think would be easy fights. You could easily do it. Just get a bit of bad RNG on your side, and you've lost a fight. You've then got to win the next 6 fights just to break even on those points. And I guess the reverse is you go for the harder fights, and on my main account, you have to probably win it at this stage. But I don't know that on my free-to-play, that's really a thing. Like winning some of these bottom fights on the free-to-play. In fact, on the free-to-play, it's way more leveled. It's like it used to be elsewhere. 8 to 12. See this? Let me just refresh the page. 7 to 12. Yeah, so on the free-to-play, it's less, definitely, I guess, when you're lower arena. I don't know exactly the details of that, but it's certainly something which looked odd to me in terms of trying to balance the game. So look, if they don't take my thoughts around just completely changing the gating system in the arena, they've either got to do one of a few things, really. They've got to add bots back in, and we just wait until we see a refresh page of a whole bunch of free wins. And for the average player, that's a great experience because they get to build their great haul, they get to progress through missions, and all of that stuff. For the player that actually likes arena, it's an awful system because points start to inflate. It almost does the opposite of what I've just spoken around with that kind of deflation of points. Yeah, it does the opposite. It inflates points everywhere. Gives you free wins. You progress through the arena. And it's a dull experience for someone who's actually competitive in PvP. So that's one thing. Throw bots back in. And people kind of start to just progress through their great haul again. A couple of other things that people have suggested. What about if you don't lose points for a loss? Yeah, so you've got this big deflation of points at the end of the week. End of the week, I'll be straight back to here. Yes, great. I'm back, started where I was at the beginning of the week. Now, what if you do a fight and for whatever reason, you don't win? What about if you actually just don't lose points for that fight? So anything you do on offense can only be a positive. It rewards people that are active in the arena. It rewards people for trying to win, even if they can't win. And there's like no negative to trying to battle. Yeah, that would be the point. I guess another thing that they could look at is way less points scored for an arena defense win. That doesn't really make sense when you get to the top of the game, honestly. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Where do you think it could go in terms of fixing this fundamental problem? Again, talking to some of my team, my mod team here, they know for a fact that some of the games that really care about ranking systems and elo systems, they employ teams of like super math brain people to come in and work on their algorithms. Yeah, games like the League of Legends, games that have got a really good elo system, Counter-Strike type of games, they will have like a team, a squad that come in and develop those algos because it's such a fundamental thing to get right. I don't think Raid have got that resource or really care enough, honestly, about this side of the game to do that, which means for me, it feels like they just need to do something a little bit different. So a couple of other things I'm going to touch on before I try and hopefully show you some teams that might help you out. The rewards for Arena are absolutely sucky. They stink. And they have done since day one. If you are a newer player, let's say my free-to-play here, a month in, I get the chance of these drops. These drops are all like 3-star drops on my free-to-play. I stopped using 3-star gear like day 2 or something. Day 2 or 3. Didn't use it. Yeah, it is... I don't know why they still think that these low-level ranking stuff should drop 3 or 4-star gear. I need 5 or 6-star gear for me to care at all about anything that's dropping out of these boxes. And honestly, I need it more often than once a week. That's the facts. Clan Boss drops us some stuff once a day. Maybe drop less items, but once a day based on your rank. Therefore, you have a kind of competitive arena that just doesn't revolve around one day of the week, which is nuts as it is. People might push harder through the week. Maybe you put live token points in here for the end of the week. You've got systems in your game now that you could reward people with. Clan Gold, live tokens, fragments of past fusions, fragments of Ninja. People want Ninja. Let them have him. Like, this needs a rework. 5-star gear minimum, 5 to 6-star gear, better drops, more frequent drops. The rewards don't match the effort, and therefore the effort doesn't go there. There's too many things going on in the game that do get some okay rewards. Doom Tower, Clan Boss, like just dungeon running. Clan v Clan when it's on, get some good rewards. Like, I don't love all of the game modes, but honestly, they take my focus. Faction Wars every single day. It's like, they're the things that I want to do, because even if I'm in Gold 5 on my main account, it's so rare that I use anything that is dropped. It's so rare. This is so outdated. Different sets have come into the game. These aren't really arena meta sets anymore. They were 2.5 years ago. They're not anymore. They're not anymore. Really, the only niche places you use these is where you want a small shield for Brogni to extend. Like, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm about to build out a Trisk team for Clan Boss over the weekend, and I need these sets just for that little shield at the start. That's it. That is literally it. So the rewards do not match the effort, and therefore the effort is not put in. And the only real reason that people push plat is to get one of these avatars, and really it's for like bragging rights and to have something to do as a real end game player. But even then, a lot of the people have stopped doing it that used to do it frequently, because the meta is just like toxic right now. It's like the whole RNG meta is just awful, in my opinion. So plat's the only place where there's any real rewards, and even those don't match the effort. So you've just got to up your reward game on some of these old, old systems that have been in the game forever. You put Gold 5 in, and you put the same rewards as Gold 4. It's just like, it doesn't match the effort, even close. The only reason I do Arena right now is for Forge material stuff on my main. That's literally the one purpose for the Arena for me right now. So I just try and find boards of easy fights. And they're not really there, even in Gold 4 anymore. They don't really exist anymore. You're having to bring your big bad boy teams to do anything. Honestly, I was in Gold 5 last week. Every fight's like a plat fight in Gold 5. I haven't got another hour to throw into Arena each day, an extra hour for this game. Not for the rewards that you get. So the reward system doesn't make any sense. And when someone eventually does complete their Great Hall, those players that have played a long time, like I have on my main, I complete my Great Hall, and I'm left with literally no reason to fight here anymore. I've got nearly 10,000 gold bars. Some people have got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of gold bars if they keep pushing, and there's nothing to do with them. So why wouldn't you combine the two arena reward tokens and just have one whole set of arena rewards? And as I said earlier, gate the Great Hall behind something else. Make this more flashy. You've done a decent update on the Clan Gold shop. Update this as well, and then make all of the arena rewards based in here. And you can really flesh this out. Go to town on it. Yeah, you can put so much stuff. I've done other videos on this. I'm not going to go into that today. You could literally put so much in this. A champion section, a resources section, a shard section, a book section, a artifact section. There's just so much you could do with this. Like, it's endless. Someone could go to town on this. Let someone do this as a project. Yeah, get an intern in. Do it for a project. Rebuild the bazaar. Make all of the gold bars the same currency. Gate the Great Hall over something else. I think as well, it's worth talking about misconceptions. Yeah, because there's a gold champion in an arena defense does not mean they're well geared. Does not mean they're actually strong in terms of, too strong for you to kill. Champions, when you're lower in arena, that are hard to kill, generally defensive champions. Yeah, this Vala here is probably more worrying to me than this legendary champion over here. But because there's gold doesn't mean I can't kill them. Right, that's a misconception. This one here with defensive champion, defensive champion, defensive champion is more of a problem. Because the main thing is, do I have the gear to nuke through, well-geared level 60 defensive champions? And you see here, pretty much all of them stay alive, and then they get a chance to come back at me, and basically they regain control of the fight. So choosing an arena defense that's kind of filled up with this type of toxic stuff down low in the arena is actually pretty damn good. And choosing an arena, choosing your fights properly for your team is better as well. Like on my free to play, all kind of squishy. I think I should win as long as I win the speed race. Same-ish. This is defensive. She could be quite tanky. It's just knowing the units. And that's about knowledge and about skill. So it's not just look at the page. Are they gold? Can I win or lose? That's a common misconception. It doesn't even matter. A lot of the time you want to look at team power. Team power early on in the arena is telling you how many stats do they have. That's basically what it's saying. A very high team power means it's got high resistance. You don't even really care about that at this level, but this is basically saying this team, 98k power, their champions are built up of a lot of stats. It might mean that this account is a bit older and they've done a bit more work on the Great Hall, therefore they built up stats. It might mean that all of them have got high crits and some resistance. Whereas this team, 51k power, I get more points for winning the fight. Now, it doesn't mean that this team is built worse than this team. It just means they've got significantly less stats. And the reason for that, if you look, a 4-star, a 5-star, and 2 6-stars, none of them really ascended. It should be an easy win, but actually, it's a better fundamental arena team than the one I've just dodged with all those stats. But we should, as long as they don't get a go before I do, we should win. And the way I've built this style team for my low-level team is I've just got my fastest speedy. I've said this a million times, but I've got a speed lead. Not my best one, but she does bring me increased attack as well, which means my nuka hits harder. I've got my fastest gear that I own on Apothecary, my speed booster. Can't show you there, but it's like 240-ish speed. Yeah, so the fastest gear I own. Anywhere where I've got a roll of speed, basically, is on this dude. And he's wearing my best stuff. I went and farmed 6-star speed boots from Nightmare Campaign. Everything else has got my best stuff. It might be that I've actually got an upgrade that I could do. But anyway, 246 speed wins me, I'd say like 95% of speed races in Silver 3, Silver 4. I normally win the race. It's whether or not I've got enough damage or not. We then play Increase Attack Champion. So that could be a Gordorab, it could be Spirit Host here, whoever. If you've got Arbiter, then Arbiter does the speed lead and the turn meter boost and the increase attack. She kind of does 3 jobs. I've got 1 job here, got 2 jobs here, speed lead and increase attack. I've then got my drop defense champion, and she is sped to go in between these two. And then I've got my damage dealer, who is my starter champion, who is built to do damage. You know, building fundamentals are important here. My drop defense champion has got some accuracy. She's got some speed. Yeah, and she's faster than my damage dealer. Some of these things, people moan about the arena, but they don't do the fundamentals. And that's annoying to see as well. From someone who's played the game for a long time and trying to help you, just to say there's loads of golds in my lineup doesn't make any sense. It's like, do you understand how to build champions yet? And a lot of people do not. My Gaelic here, crying out to be fully ascended, and I will do that soon. Slower than the rest of the team, but not too much slower. I don't want him to be cut in on if possible. But I've gone for a high level of crit rate. It's still not high enough. I need like another 8% for this to be good. I've got higher level of crit damage as I can do, and then some high attack. He's actually in a bit of a, jack of all trades build. So he's actually got, he's got an attack percent chest, but he's got quite a lot of defensive stats in his substats, just so that he can stay alive through clan boss and stuff. And you'll have to do that early on. The more you specialize a team for the arena, the more you win in the arena. On the main account, anyone who's in my arena teams is literally specialized in an arena build. Anyone in these teams has got an arena build. And I've gone and asked top players about what they do. I've gone and found out information about how to do that. If you want to know some good arena YouTubers, Mac Chan's good. Boomer is very good. Scratch is very good. Want to Mess doesn't do that many videos. He does quite a lot of streaming. Very good. EU Rats, very good. In terms of like sharing knowledge, sharing info about it. So there's people out there that could help specifically with Arena. There's also some good help in Discord. You can come to Discord and help around builds. But fundamentally, once you can, you need to build an Arena team with their specific masteries, gear, all of that type of stuff for the Arena. Now, if you don't have the sea of legendaries and all that type of stuff, which I know a lot of people are going to be saying that, then there's some epics you can look out for, which would help you for go second teams. If you just cannot win your speed race, if that's your problem, speed is your issue, then you can look out for some champions which will help. So Seeker is a great epic for this. Seeker, as long as he's at the front end of your lineup, when he takes a hit, he spreads increased defense to the rest of your team, and you've got a good chance of lasting that first hit. Now, you're actually better off pairing him with a damage dealer who's defense-based, because he's going to give your team increased defense. But Seeker's a good one to give you that chance to go second in the arena. You pair him with someone else from the same faction here, the big boy, Vodoff, and you've got an even better chance to make sure that you get a turn. Because Vodoff will heal your allies by 50% of the damage he takes. If you build him high HP, then he takes big chunky hits and he heals for massive amounts. If someone's doing AoE damage to you, especially someone who does a double hit or something like that, then he will just heal. You almost back up to full. Okay? Something else, just in terms of that kind of defensive, I want to take a hit. It's basic, but shield sets are your friends in this situation. Yes, they can be cleansed off, and there's counters to everything, by the way. If you're going to be writing down below, there's a counter to that, there's a counter to that. There is a counter to everything. That's why it's an arena meta. But shield sets are your friends. If you're looking to build someone in a shield set, specifically that's their job. Like Vodoff, you put Vodoff in a shield set, try and put HP percent on everything. Yeah, HP percent main stats everywhere, because that will give you way more survivability, a way bigger shield. So even when you're looking for substats on your other pieces, HP percent is your friend in a shield set. So that's kind of one, or a couple of champions and a few tactics. A couple more champions that you could be looking out for. Sandlash Survivor is a good one. She has got a mechanic where in a passive, when you start to take a chunk of damage, she throws out ally protection to grab that damage off your friends, and she puts block damage on herself to stop herself from dying. So another good champion to kind of take a whack. So old school, but still good. Still like queen of the lower end arena meta, Skull Crown. Put her in something like an avenging set. When she takes a hit, she counterattacks. Put her with counterattack masteries. Build her full damage. She's actually nasty to deal with, especially early game arena. Obviously drops off a bit later game, but you still don't want to fight a Skull Crown unless you've got full control, like locking out with stuns, freezes, that type of stuff. And even then, the Mastery Resurgent has got a good chance to clean it off. She is a nasty contender to just absolutely nuke your team. Magnar's a great champion to have in these kind of go second teams. Basically, his damage output is scarily high. He's got all of his damage is based from HP. So you can actually build him incredibly tanky enough to take a big hit while still building him full damage. So Magnar, other champions like this, Versolf, Sir Nick, any of those big HP based nukers can actually do you a great service. So they can kind of come in and just smack the enemy. Yeah, they can take the hit, then they get their big double hit off, and hopefully you nuke the enemy team. But you need to pair them with people that are going to keep them alive, like I've just spoken about. So yeah, another good one, Ursala the Mourner. Just generally good at, well, she got a great revive, basically. She got a great revive with turn meter feel. She puts good buffs on them as well. So you build her as an absolute unit. She picks people back up. You know, other people that do this, obviously Duchess. Duchess is probably known for being the best at it. Raglan kind of does it on a really quick cooldown. But any of those revive champions that can pick people up with a decent amount of HP percent and a decent amount of turn meter can actually kind of get your team back in the fight. One who's probably really well known for this offensively, and I did do a video on this, is Cardinal. Put her in this new Stone Skin gear, and you should be winning more fights than you lose. You build everyone else to be absolute kind of like, you know, KO smacking champions. You build her in Stone Skin. Everyone else drops to the floor. She revives them all. As I say, I've done a video on this, which I'll post at the end. But she can be great. Not in defense. She's great in offense for a go second team. Godseeker is another good one to throw in the mix. But there are champions that can help you. Okay, there's champions that can help you do this stuff. But it doesn't mean it suddenly becomes a free ride. You still need to select your opponent. You still need to bring the right tactics to the fight. You still need to have people geared properly. You still need to actually think about the fight and whether you bring the right champions in as you go higher in the arena. But look, that's going to be it for this video. I mean, come on! I mean, it's a mess right now. PLARIUM Arena is a mess. It's not an enjoyable experience for your players. And that goes from early game to late game. Please consider some of the things I've said. Guys, comment below with some other stuff. Let PLARIUM have something to read if they do want to try and fix this stuff. I really hope they do, because I think it's probably, it's one of those areas in the game right now which has just been left to drift. And actually, things have been added that have made it worse, not made it better. So anyway, there you go. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.